Hey everyone, welcome to the best US Mint news channel on YouTube. I'm Sonofasilverstacker. Today's date is the 24th of July 2025, and that means the United States Mint's dropping the DC comic coin, art, coin, and metals. That's right, their big public-private partnership and the big gamble. Let's see if it pays off today. Now, we're also going to be looking at sales over at coinnews.net. They've compiled some interesting numbers that I got to share with you. In fact, sales are going gonzo over there. Now, before any of that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to reach a bazillion subs. It's actually a really big number. You can look it up. It's ginormous, right? Now, we're always live, never edited, and always unscripted. I never know what I'm not going to say. Now, bounce over here to Money Metals. No, they don't pay me, but they do make it really easy for me to see the precious metal prices and give them to you. Gold down 22.60 to 33.77.15. Silver down 28 cents to 29 cents now to 39.17. Platinum down 42.10 to 13.95.60, and palladium down 25.45 to 12.83.30. Dr. Copper, the only one showing some positivity over here, up 4 cents to 5.88 per pound. Down here, you're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $6.49 for the quantity 1 through 39. They have you paying $45.66 pickup sticks. Now the sell to them price is $40.68, and that is definitely above the silver spot price at $39.17. Next up, that's right, it's the big day. July 24th, new limited and pre-order. And remember from our video the other day, these are going to start shipping in early fall, which, well, let's see, fall starts late September, September 22nd or so. And could it be September, maybe the following month? Yeah, I would say probably the month after September, we're going to probably see some of these coins and metals ship out. But is that something you really like? Do you like pre-orders? Me, myself, and I, not so much. If I buy it, I want to see it soon. I don't want to have to wait around for it. So that's another bummer in the summer that they've offered us here. It is a pre-order. And what's interesting is that they only added this pre-order action just recently, probably in the last day or so. I don't think it was there yesterday, but there it is. And speaking of there it is, there's the price for the comic art, 24 karat gold proof coin featuring Superman. That's the trademark. That's the public-private partnership action. Mintage limit 10,000. The price of this coin is going to be $2,710 for a half ounce of gold. There it is. And like I said, shipping is expected to begin fall 2025. And in the press release, they said early fall, but you never know. They could change that. And there's no real lockdown date for that like they did have for the American Silver Eagle with the Army Privy Mark that said exactly July 29th, and that happens in 5 days. They're going to start shipping out those coins, so it'll be interesting to see if they actually do that. Now, let's keep on keeping on. Went over to eBay, and I was like, well, let's see what these are finally selling for, and there we go. So we have 12 results. And is that a whole lot, actually, for just the silver metal? Because this encompasses the 1 ounce and the 2.5 ounce right there, $400 new listing. In fact, you know what? It's been a minute since I've done this. Yeah, well, there's another one here, 400 here, 400 there, 380. Looks like there's one bid. Interesting. Yeah, there it is, one bid. 164. Remember, it's 135. 214. That's an MS70. 239 in an MS70. All right, some discrepancy there. 209 from MS70 there. 239, 400 for the 2.5, 229 for the 168, 179, and so on and so forth. But that's not the gold coin, right? What is the gold coin selling for on eBay? And I will check out what the sold listings are if it ever loads. And yeah, there it is. Welcome to the party, pal. Let's see. Search the gold coin. There's 14, and now there's 12. Looks like 2 of them are gonzo. So we will check out the sold listings there. All right. So this is the pre-sale. And like I said, it's going to come late September or the following month. And this is an NGC graded. And I kind of like their label there, although a blue background here to match this would be really cool, like a sky blue. 3,699.90. 3,499.90, and so on and so forth. So there they are, folks. And that one's got no fancy pants label there, but it is a Proof 70 Deep Cameo, $3,349.99. Yeah. So there it is. You spend $2,710, and you can't sell it for double, not just yet anyway. And is that going to be something that happens? Will they be $4,200 or $4,340? I don't know, but let's check out the sold items here. And then we'll keep on keeping on. Well, there it is. That sold July 23rd. That was just yesterday for $3,000, and that is it. That's not a good sign. Typically, we see a whole lot more sales than just the one right there. So that was kind of womp womp. Now let's keep on keeping on. Let's go to Bullion Exchange and they have one here, and it's part of the Superhero series, and that's PCGS. What do you think of the label there? I like it actually better than the Superman one, and it's got that comic art frame to it. See how they have frames there, like you're reading a comic book. And is it comical that they're selling comic book coins? Maybe. And there's no price on this one here. This says out of stock, so that's something to think about. Now, I was wondering, where is PCGS going to put these particular coins? Well, I went over here to PCGS and looked it up. It says Coinfax Commemoratives, Modern Gold Commemorative, 2025, West Point, $50 DC Comics, Superman half ounce, gold deep cameo. There it is. So it's going to be, looks like under modern gold commemorative. And what about the silver medal? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is the 1 ounce, and it's under Coinfax commemoratives, modern commemorative medals, and 2025 metal DC Comics Superman 1 ounce silver coin or metal right there. Bam. So that's where that's going to go. Now let's go to the coinnews.net article I wanted to show you here. This is incredible. You won't even believe the sales, and I bet the Mint is pretty stoked to see these kind of numbers. I know I was when I saw it. I was like, good for the Mint. All right, this is coinnews.net. This is an article by Mike Unser dated July 23rd, 2025. So that was just yesterday. Title of this article is U.S. Mint Sales. 2025 Mint Set opens at 133,985 and Roosevelt Medal follows. It says here under the subheadline here, 2025 Mint Set leads weekly sales at 133,000 but lags last year's start. And it does actually. You wouldn't believe it. But that's not the whole story. Theodore Roosevelt Silver Medal opens at number 2 seller at 11,115. And typically what we see for that is an adjustment the following week that drops it by 2,000 to 3,000, maybe even in the hundreds. But there it is. All right, like I said, let's do this. 2 new Mint products were introduced last week by the United States Mint. A set of 20, that's 20 coins in the uncirculated set, 2025 uncirculated coins, and a silver medal featuring Teddy Roosevelt. As expected, both ranked among the Mint's best-selling items of the week. Absolutely. Released on July 17th for $33.25, the annually issued set of uncirculated coins, the 2025 Mint set, posted 4-day beginning sales of 133,985, slightly trailing last year's 2024 Mint set, which launched at $29 and sold 136,631 over the same number of days. And I got to tell you, folks, if we keep seeing copper prices go up and nickel prices go up, this 33.25 is going to look pretty reasonable, because we could see 35, 38, or $40 uncirculated Mint sets. Wouldn't that be something? Yowza. And you know what? What if they started putting the value of the face value of the coins in this uncirculated coin set for these 20 coins here? Wouldn't that be something? Let's keep on keeping on. Although it was the Mint's best performing product of the week, its starts was among the slower openings in recent years. Yeah. And you got to ask yourself why. Not sure, but I thought that was really interesting. So here we go. Debut sales up to for 2007 to 2025 Mint sets. All right. So here we go. 133, 136, and for the same days, yeah, about 5 days there, and so on and so forth. But that really is, like I said, it's not the whole story. And I will leave a link in the description for this particular page. Now it says the uncirculated sets from 2021 and 2023 or 2024 are still available. But I got to tell you that 2024, there aren't many left. That was probably what, I think I did the math, and it said like 3,738 or so was the number I came up with. So, and that could, and wait till you see the sales. All right. And they could be gone in like 2 weeks if these sales keep up. This Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Silver Medal debuts. Here we go. Look at this. This is the classic tale for the year for 2025. Army 2025 West Point Proof American Silver Eagle sales update. And I showed you that last video yesterday, that they went down by 3,480. So in the latest update, the Privy Mark 250th Anniversary Army 2025 West Point Proof American Silver Eagle. I don't know how many times have I said that. I got to come up with a better name. Saw a weekly decline of 3,480, bringing its total to 93,296 out of 100,000. That's all they had, right? This follows a gain of 2,504 the week prior, and it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps backward, which came after an increase of 19,000 and back-to-back declines of 131 and 4,119, limited to 100,000 and initially marked as unavailable just hours, 3 hours, 45 minutes. after it's June 13th, that's Friday the 13th, maybe that had something to do with it, right? June 13th launch, the coin returned for pre-sale July 2nd and remains available for $105. And people are buying them on the internet still in the raw form, but not as many. And I got to ask, who's buying those? Is that somebody who's buying, who's buying the raw coins, right? Is it somebody who already reached their household order limit of one after the Mint said that they would lift the household order limit of one after 24 hours? And they never really re-released any kind of new information about this. They just left it at that and said, that's good enough. It's original, and they really need to be more communicative, right? Let's be real. It's original. One per household order limit is still in place. And it's a shame that they didn't mention that they said they would, but there it is. Shipping begins next week on July 29th. Here you go. This is remarkable, folks. Now, the first two we kind of expect when a new Mint product drops. All right, U.S. Mint set for 2025 sold 133. The Teddy Roosevelt 11,115. But look at this. That proof set sold 10,224. We mentioned that yesterday. But what we didn't mention right here, look at this. This is tremendous, folks. The uncirculated Silver Eagle sold 3,229 for a grand total of 77,063. And we know they already sold 12,200, okay, of those through the bulk purchasers. Now, if we add the 7763 to the bulk action, we get 89,263 coins, folks. And that is out of 90,000. So as you can tell, there's less than 600 and change left if they did max out that household, or rather the product limit there. That's remarkable. That is something to sing about, because you know what? Typically, those uncirculated Silver Eagles last for quite some time. And look at that number. They sold 3,000. And when that's the number 4 spot, typically that 3,000 is like the number 1 or 2 spots. That's huge. Number 5 is the uncirculated Morgan Silver Dollar. That's released on July 10th. They sold 2,591. Uncirculated Peace Dollar, same, sold 2,162. That's remarkable. And here we go. Look at this. We're at number 7 spot. The 2024 Mint set sold 1,136 to 186,000. And if we did the math, I think we're looking at just under 4,000 left, it looks like there. Probably 3,500 or so if they did max out at 190. And I tell you, if they have this... And I think if we're going to ask the question, why did they sell so many? Well, it's probably because the 2025 Mint set dropped, and there's some correlation there between the two, I would think. And hey, it's still available. Let's go pick it up. Now, my thing is, how many are left? That is huge. And remember, that holds the highly coveted P and D Jefferson nickel that the United States Mint only made just, 22 million, 23 million. I forget the number actually, but it wasn't a whole lot. And it's probably a better date, or I don't know if it's a semi-key date probably. So that's kind of interesting. Now that is on the 7th spot, 1,136. That's remarkable, folks. Number 8 spot is that Proof Silver Eagle. That's the Flagship Silver Eagle, sold 865. Number 9 is the Proof Marine Corps 250th Anniversary Silver Dollar, sold 624. That's still remarkable that so many sell each and every single week. Really strong program there. And then number 10 spots, the 2025 Kennedy 200 coin bag, sold 294 out of 6,000. So the total is 6,049. And I think they have a total of like 11 or 12,000 is the stated product limit or so. In its latest report, the Mint published sales data for 569 numismatic products. 5 products saw week-over-week gains of more than 1,000 units compared to 3 previously. Yeah, things are picking up, and it's not even the holidays yet, which is remarkable. And that begs the question, what are the sales going to look like during the holidays? U.S. Mint sales momentum eased slightly last week, with 103 products surpassing their previous totals. That is down from 105 in the prior report, but above the 99 reported 2 weeks ago. Seesaw action. The figure remains within the range recorded over the 5 weeks preceding those 2 reports, 89, 120, 98, 93, and 97. Now, there you go. 103 is definitely pretty good out of all those. In addition, 1 product recorded a weekly sales decline. They already mentioned Privy Mark 20, well, yeah, you know the one. Compared to 4 in last week's report. For a second week in a row, each decline was limited to just 1 unit. There it is. It's incredible watching these sales each and every single week. You really, most people don't do that, right? They don't look at the sales on a weekly number, except if you work for the United States Mint or you're into, well, why do we look at these numbers? Well, they're vital to numismatists, investors, and flippers to determine demand right? And mintages, and demand is, well, right here. Look at this. This is majorly demand right here that we're looking at. And what is that going to do for the flippers, right? So here we are, 2024 commemoratives. Not going to talk about that, but look at this. 1.70 for the silver dollar there, 1.16 for the half dollar, and 9.4 for that $5 gold coin. And that is a beauty, actually. It's one of my favorite designs right there. If you've ever seen it in person, you're going to be like, wow, that's really beautiful. Morgan and Peace silver dollars. Yep, talked about that. Got 2,591 here, 2162. And you know what? It sales for these other peace dollars, it got bumped up as well. Look, you're looking at 177 right there for that Morgan from 2024. You're looking at 111 here for that peace dollar, 153 for the 2024 uncirc, 32 for the peace, and that's a huge disparity there. And then 93 for the 23 and 48 for the proof piece from 2023. Yeah, increase the sales when they drop, right? So it looks like when the ISR is on the new releases here, it helps the older ones sell as well. I think I think that's exactly what happened for the 2024 uncirculated mint set. All right, let's keep on keeping on. This is the Army silver medal, and it is actually coming back down to earth after well, I guess there was some interesting correlation, I believe, from the Army Privy marked American Silver Eagle with this particular one here. I think maybe some folks were like, oh, let me get it. And then they bought this instead of the other one. But I think that's tapering off now. American Liberty products, clad proof sets. Look at that. That is remarkable. Almost a 3.25% increase there. 10,224. And remember, folks, there's 420,002 of those going to be available for 2025. And there is some speculation that we could see the last of the Lincoln cent for the proof sets, but you never know. We don't have any official confirmation there, but we do have confirmation that that is the last Kennedy half dollar that's going to be found in a proof. That's right. The other ones are all silver. Imagine that. And that's probably driving some sales as well. Look at this 205 American Women Quarters proof set. That's incredible. Silver sets. Look at that. Bam. 2024 silver proof set not available, and it is here and there, but you just got to get lucky. And that's probably one of the lowest minted silver proof sets in quite some time, since 92, right? That's when they came out with the silver proof sets, along with the prestige set as well. Uncirculated mint sets, yeah, look at that. I mean, if they keep selling that many uncirculated mint sets, this thing's gonzo in a couple weeks, and that will be all for that. And what's interesting, you can still buy the 2021 uncirculated mint set, and that does feature the Washington crossing the Delaware, along with the Tuskegee Airmen, America the Beautiful, last issuance of the America the Beautiful quarter series. Amazing. All right, proof and reverse proof. Silver Eagles, yeah, look at that. Womp womp. Negative 3,480 for 93,296. That's just not... So, do you think the Mint's writing home to mom about how fantastic this whole operation has been? Or do you think they learned something from this? I sure hope so. I hope that they do release the household order limit on the Army, or rather the Navy and the Marine Corps American Silver Eagles that are coming out in a couple months. They got to be wondering what they've learned. Like, learn and grow. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn and grow. That's what I hear. But will they learn and grow? That's the question. All right, uncirculated silver eagles, I talked about that. There's not many left. Like I said, we're at 89,263. That doesn't leave a whole lot. And if they keep selling this much, it's gonzo by next week. See you later. Goodbye. Adios. Auf Wiedersehen. Sayonara, etc., etc. All right, 2025 proof American Eagle gold coins. Look at this. All of them strong sales. I mean, just incredible amount of coins being sold, and at the prices that we're seeing for gold right now, that's even more incredible. That is wow. All right, let's keep on keeping on here. Look at this uncirculated American Eagle gold coins. Where did those come from? Look at that, and almost an increase of 14.5%. 217 American gold eagles that are in an uncirculated finish. That is remarkable. All right. And, this is actually the first time I'm seeing this. I just looked at the top earlier. American Palladium Eagle sold 54 for a 1% increase there. So I might miss something here. Oh, look at that. Innovation dollars for Florida sold 74. That's a 2.21% increase. And what's interesting about that, the total sales now are 3,427. And if we look at the 100 coin bag out of Denver, 3,450 is the total stated product limit, and they're at 3,427. So there's less than 23, about 23 available in that stated product limit. But really, they didn't produce that many, so I think that's going to be the final number. There could be straggler 1 or 2 left, but that's about it. That's incredible. And I do believe that the Texas American Innovation coin is probably going to outsell the Florida Innovation one featuring the space shuttle there, because it is a spacewalker. That's a really cool design. Probably one of my favorite designs for this year altogether. And believe it or not, the 2025 American Innovation dollars had some really great designs so far. And that Texas one will be the last one, the 4th issuance of the American Innovation coin for the year. And then after that, we've got the proof set and the reverse proof set. There it is. And let's keep on keeping on. It'd be cool if they could consolidate these instead of having them so spaced out. And where are the 2021 Morgan and Peace dollars in these numbers up top? You never know what they're doing here. All right, let's keep on keeping on. There we go. First spouse, presidential coins, Native American dollar rolls. Look at this. An increase of 2.3% there for the 100 coin bag out of Philadelphia. Almost a 2% increase there for the 100 coin bag out of Denver. And then we have the Kennedy half dollars. Look at that. A 5% increase in the 200 coin bag featuring Philadelphia and Denver mint strikes. That's incredible. And look at this. We know that one is unavailable, but look, 23 folks or 23 purchases right there, or even one purchase at 23. We're at 26,109. And I wanted to ask 26,109. And then right now, currently, it is not available. Let me go ahead and open that up. What I say it was 26,250, 26,250. Yeah, look at that. So looks like there's a few available that could be available. 26,250. We're not there, but we're 26,109. Interesting. Now look at this. We got the Vera Rubin quarters. I really dig these. And I got to tell you, I got my uncirculated mint sets in the mail finally yesterday. Those look amazing. And of the ones I've got, only one of them had proof-like strikes. And it was from Philadelphia and Denver. I got really lucky, I guess, because it had both P and D packages there. And they had proof-like strikes. The other two, yeah, not so much. And the other ones, actually, there was maybe just some, okay, look, when you look at your coins that you get, you have to have one light source. I usually typically like the sun, or you can, have a dark room with one of those, the light, I can't even think about it right now. But I like to go into the dining room and look at the coins with one light source. And typically you can see all the blemishes, if there are any, on the coins. But I'll tell you what, I got stoked that one of them had the proof-like finishes, especially for that Kennedy half dollar. I was like, what? Man, that thing's got a mirror finish. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I got chicken skin looking at it. Now also, what are the possibilities? He got his mint set, and he was actually missing a coin, one of his quarters, from, I think it was the Denver. Yeah. And that's one of the things when you have robots putting these sets together, there's no real quality control, right? If a human probably would have noticed that, not that they would have cared, but a human would have noticed that a coin was missing. But the robot just kept on and missed him. Shorted him a Denver strike. And what's interesting about that, those are tamper-proof. You can't take those in or out. You have to cut it open to get to it. So that's kind of a cool packaging error right there. So yeah, there we have the Dr. Vera Rubin quarters. We have 2 more American Women quarter issuances, Stacey Park Milburn and Althea Gibson. Those are going to be some interesting coin sales as well, I believe, seeing how we're at the end of the series. After that, not really too many more sales here. We'll have to go to the, I think that's going to be it, actually. And we're at the bottom of the page. All right, cool deal. Let's go to the plus ones. I've yammered for so long today, I can't even believe it. All right, this is, nothing. There you go. Let's just go to this one, I guess. I wasn't ready. All right, this is Proverb 17:9. I guess it's important. That's the way this worked out, right? He who overlooks an offense promotes love, but one who harps on the matter alienates a ruler from himself. Oh yeah, I got a great example. Now, I think what it means is a victim of an offense who chooses to ignore it wins love, but if he keeps complaining about it, the result will be ill will and alienation of important people. So guess what? Yeah, rise above it and let it go, go, go. And like I told you, I had a dream. I dream all the time, every night almost, and I get some wild dreams. I'll tell you that right now. Not bad wild, but like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, that was trippy. So I had a dream this large, high-calorie person was yelling at me and said some rude things and being disrespectful to me. And I was like, hey, I'm going to take offense to that. And so I did. And this was in my dream. You know, sometimes I learn lessons in my dreams. I don't know if you guys do, but I definitely do. And I was just overreacted, right? And it was just like a big overreaction. And it ended up that, yeah, this guy, the one that overreacted, was the one that everybody pointed their finger at and said, hey, you can't do that. You know what I mean? I tried to put the other person together after disrespecting me in my dream, but when I really should have rose above it and let it go and let that other person, well, everybody else knows and saw that happen, and they were like, oh gosh, you know what I mean? But yeah, I overreacted in my dream, and then I ended up being the big jerk. So that's probably, I'm going to leave it at that, actually. So let's go to 99.1 KOIN Coin News Radio. This is more Black Sabbath in honor of Ozzy Osbourne. This is Planet Caravan. Really cool song. And he's traveling the universe. There it is. Now, I want to thank y'all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, sub the channel. It's absolutely free. Stacker out.